Hey YouTube, so I'm about to show you a few 2D platformer games which can be played on a Mac. I'm also going to show you a little bit of their gameplay in order for you to see if it's really the game that you want. I'm going to start off with And Yet It Moves, a 2D platformer game, puzzle game actually, where you manipulate a white chalk person. As you can see here, yeah, in a cave, and you have to make your way out of the cave actually. It's a little bit more tricky than you think because um, you have the power to turn the the cave actually, so it's a little bit more tricky than you think. It's very entertaining, very easy to use the controls, but it's quite hard to solve the puzzles. However, since the checkpoints are near each other, it's very easy for you to, finish one piece of the puzzle without having to start all over again, which can be sometimes quite annoying. Okay, so we're through with this. Next one I'm going to show you will be a little bit more popular among you people. It's Angry Birds. Yup. Well, I've finished the game, so I'm just going to show you a bit. I'm sure you're familiar with this. It's not only out for, Mac, but it's actually on iPod Touch and iPhones. Good graphics, very easy to download. Pretty much it for Angry Birds. Next one would be Atom Zombie Smasher. This game is a 2D platformer, but it's more interesting because it's kind of a strategy game where you have um, you have to manipulate several things such as choppers, artilleries, and whatnot in order to get as many civilians as possible out of your city. So as you can see here, here's an overview of your city. The yellow dots here are the citizens, and the purple arrows indicate where the zombies will be coming from. So once you have situated your chopper, and as you go through the levels, you'll see some artilleries, infantries. You can position them anywhere. You can click done, and the goal is to evacuate as many people as possible within the time limit. As you can see here, we have to rescue 10 people within half a minute. It's kind of easy. The first levels are fairly easy, however it gets much more difficult as you go through the levels. So yeah, there's Atom Zombie Smasher. Next would be Braid, a game called Braid. It's a very interesting game, a puzzle game as well, where you control Braid, this man here, and what you do actually is you just run around collecting puzzle pieces, trying to find your wife, yeah, your lover. So you can see it's quite tricky. You'll have to use your brains a little bit in order to go through a few things. You can turn back time and whatnot here. Get the key. Yep. And as you get more pieces of your puzzle, well, you get to solve the mysteries of the story. Yep, that's much for braid. Next would be Chicken Invaders 4. This game is actually very fun. It's like Galagia or Galaxy if you ever had a chance to play those games as a kid. So if we start, you can see here you have a spaceship, and your goal is actually to just eliminate as many chickens as possible. It's quite fun. And as you eliminate chickens, they sometimes drop power-ups, which will enable you to shoot different types of missiles. Very entertaining. I finished the game in a day, and no challenge. Yeah, it's just for fun, really. Okay, so away with this. Let's go with the next one called Osmos. This is actually a game for iTouch, I believe, but I managed to get it for my MacBook. So it's pretty basic. You are actually this circle, and the goal mostly is to become the biggest and absorb all that's around you. That's what we will try to do. I'll just show you a bit, and try not to get absorbed, of course. As you can see, a bigger life form managed to get me. It's quite challenging, it's quite hard actually, but you have to be very patient, of course. Yeah, that's for Osmos. Next would be Peggle. Sorry. Peggle is actually a game for Windows, but it's also out for Mac. PopCap game, same company that made Plants vs Zombies. If you're familiar with that, actually, I'm going to show you that game later. So Peggle is actually a game of this, it's like pinball, where you have. I'll just show you. The goal is to eliminate as much orange pegs as possible. You have a total of 10 shots to make. Okay, so as you can see, it's quite basic. No need to learn anything. You can choose different characters to play through the game. Different characters have different powers, and so on and so forth. Well, yeah. The next one after Peggle would be Plants vs Zombies, which I believe you already know and heard of because it's also out in PC. Fun game where you have to you have to you know protect your house from zombies. Here, already this is an ongoing game, failed one of course. Just show you. So we have here the zombies, different kind of zombies. Quite entertaining as a game actually. You have to pick up different cards, you have to choose wisely depending on what kind of zombies may attack your house. Well, yep. I'll just show you a little bit. It's quite basic actually. If you want to learn more about this game, you could browse YouTube for different channels showing the game. So yep, pretty much it. Right, before I get addicted. The next one would be, let me see, games, Splode. Well, this game is quite fun, very basic. All you have to do is click once, and all or pores will explode. The goal is actually to eliminate a total number of spores with only one click. So you can see as you click, there's a very beautiful melody playing. So yeah, it's quite entertaining, but actually it's very basic. It's a very basic game. You can get bored quite easily, but it's a good pastime. Yeah. So you can see as you go through the levels, it's quite a nice game, especially if you have kids. Okay, let's go on with the next game, which would be, let's see, Super Meat Boy. Oh yeah, this game is actually for PC, but they made one for Mac as well. It's a very fun 2D platformer. It's about, you play as this, Super Meat Boy, a red meat boy. And you're supposed to save your girlfriend from this evil kidnapper. So the goal is in each level would be to reach your girlfriend, going through several obstacles. As you go on, it gets harder and harder. So here, it's quite easy. But every time you reach her, that guy would appear and take her away again. Thus, meaning that you'll have to try and get her again. So yeah, pretty much it for Super Meat Boy. Okay, the next one would be Tori. It's a game only for Mac users. I don't think it's available for PC. It's a puzzle game where, very kiddie, but it's very challenging actually. Don't be fooled by the cuteness of this game. It's actually very difficult as a game because you need to make several decisions in order to get the eggs. The goal is to collect the eggs, but as you can see, they're not that easy to get. You need to be very careful with your decisions. As you can see, I just died, but you don't have a total number of life. You can just rewind whenever you die, or whenever you think you have made a bad decision, you can just press rewind and press start, which is very, very comfortable, makes it easy to play. So yeah, I don't think I'll be able to finish this level because it's quite hard. So yeah, let's go on to the last game, which would be Goo. World of Goo. Well, this game, well, I'll just show you. Would be a bunch of goo balls that you're supposed to put together in order to reach the pipe and complete the level. Quite fun game, very simple, very fun, very challenging, and cute because of the sound effects. Right here. So there we go. You have a goal here, and yeah, it gets more difficult as you go on. So yup, that's it for Goo. Quit. So I hope that you enjoyed the list of games which I have shown you. I'm sorry if it took a little longer than you thought. If you have any questions, just feel free to ask me. I'm also going to make another video which would be showing 3D games which can be played on your MacBook. Thank you for watching. Please rate, subscribe, and click like. Thank you.